So for the next couple of videos, I'm doing a series called My Story. It's about my financial story. Make sure you subscribe so that you get every single episode, saving money, spending money, credit cards. I'm gonna talk about it all. So now this is the part of the story where we come to the real world. I finally graduate college. Yay! Graduated from college and I was so excited to jump into the real world and start making some real money. I was like, okay, I have these credit cards because by then I think I had at least one other credit card. But my thought was, I have these credit cards. I finally have a car. I bought my mom's old car from my parents. I think I paid them $3,000 for the car. So I had a car, I had a couple credit cards, I had a degree. I was ready to hop out into the real world and start making those big checks. But the problem was I didn't really have much experience. So I had a Spanish degree and I didn't have a tag along to go with that. So usually when you get a liberal arts degree, the college will recommend that you get some sort of business component along with it. So for example, with Spanish, the recommendation was Spanish and applied business. So I decided to do that. And also if you got a Spanish degree, they also recommended applied education because you can become a Spanish teacher. So I knew I didn't want to do that. I decided to do the applied business because that was most interesting to me. And I remember I had a friend who was doing Spanish and business and she said, it's only a few more credits. You can go ahead and get a dual diploma, get your Spanish and your business degree. And I remember saying to her, nah, I really just want to get out of school. Like, I don't really want any more classes. I just want to get out. And she said, yeah, but she's like, you'll have a much better chance of getting a job once you get out of school. And I was like, no, I won't have a problem. I have a Spanish degree. Like, I'm smart, I'm good. I'm okay, I'm good, boo-boo. I'm good. So I tried to explain to her that I was gonna be okay. And little did I know that it was gonna be really tough to find a job. It wasn't like the economy wasn't really bad or anything. This was 2006 when I graduated the first time. I was already working. So I was working at a women's clothing store. Perfect for my shopping addiction, right? But I was working at a women's clothing store, hanging up clothing, picking up clothing from the floor, making sure the straps were on the hanger, putting the plastic straps on the hanger, helping people with dressing rooms, helping people get checked out, everything that I didn't want to do once I graduated college. I thought once I graduated, there would be so many open opportunities to me. And so I wouldn't have to work there anymore. But when I graduated, it was just kind of, okay, well, now it's Saturday, now what? And I remember talking to my boss at the clothing store and she said, well, she was like, I would love to have you here full time. And I thought, wow, open opportunity. Somebody wants me full time. I'll make more money. Sure, why not? And here I am. I'm thinking it's a salary position with benefits. Really, it was just a raise of, I think I got like a 50-cent raise. It was ridiculous. And I was kind of disappointed, but I was told that if I stayed on, I could apply for an assistant manager position. So I stayed on for a month or so, and as promised, the assistant manager position came up. I applied for it and I got the job. I got like another $1.50 raise or something of that nature. I think by then I was making like $11 an hour. So I was pretty excited. $11 an hour, that's not bad. That's like $22,000 a salary per year. But I wasn't getting benefits and I wasn't able to work overtime. So it was 40 hours a week at $11 an hour, and it just wasn't enough money. Not for what I wanted to do. Like, remembering from when I was younger, I always had this vision of like a much grander life. Like I just knew what I wanted and I knew how I envisioned my life, and working at a clothing store at $11 an hour just was not gonna get it. So I knew that I had to do more. I had another friend who was working at a franchise and asked me to come be a manager there. By this time I was really excited because I thought, okay, manager of a restaurant, plus it's a friend of mine that I know. So this is gonna be a salary position, right? And that was a definite no. So I made this mistake. I made the mistake of leaving my job at the clothing store before I found out if I had gotten the job at the restaurant. That's something that I don't recommend that you do. If you're gonna go to a new job, make sure that you have it and it's what you want before you leave the previous position. So when I applied for the new restaurant, it wasn't a salary position, it was another hourly position, and I actually took a pay cut. but I was able to work overtime. And so I think I was working maybe 60 hours a week, and I didn't really enjoy it. I was working at a restaurant that, you know, obviously when you work at a restaurant, you have to keep your hair back. So I had to wear a hat every single day. And even though it was a very respectable job because I was earning enough and it's a great company, it just wasn't what I wanted to do, and it wasn't the vision that I had for my life. So I knew that I had to keep looking. This is when I decided to go back to school after having a discussion with a guy that I was working with at the time. He said, you know, you keep complaining that your life is not what you want it to be. Your life is not what you want it to be, but you have a college degree and you have all these options open to you. And if you don't want to use the degree that you have, then just go back to school, get a degree that you're actually going to use. And then that way you can stop complaining that your life is not the way you want it to be. And it was really rude and it hurt my feelings at first, but then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? He's right. I'm going back to college. So now I'm in college for the second time. I decided to choose my degree a little bit more wisely. So the first time I chose a Spanish degree because I enjoyed speaking Spanish. I really, really liked the culture. I love the food. And it was something that I could see myself doing for 4 years. But this time I decided to choose a degree based on the income earning potential of the degree. So there were 3 options that I gave myself when going back to school.